is no quality in this world that is not what it is merely by contrast. Nothing exists in itself.
We're going it out. In the background, perhaps you can hear a Let's Go Dodgers chant. We are inside the locker room on the 5th floor of the iHeart Radio studios. Brought to you by Verizon Wireless. The next hour will commence with a live inside the locker room guest. We will head to Clippers basketball at 5 o'clock. So we got about 50 minutes with a beautiful collection of folks, P. They really showed out here. Thank you, everybody.
Great in-studio audience. A big thank you to our sandwich sponsor.
Yes, our friends at Vesti. Thank you to them. Eat Vesti. Use the code iHeartVesti for 20% off. We had a spicy, a turkey, the focaccia. Oh, incredible. And I'm sure everybody here would agree.
And, yes, I'm sure our studio audience would agree. Brought to you by Verizon. Joining us right now, the man of the hour.
Man of the hour.
Miguel Rojas is our guest. We're talking about not only one of the great men representing Venezuela and Southern California simultaneously, but also a legendary Dodger hero of epic proportions. Ay, Dios mío! What Miguel Rojas was able to pull off this offseason was very, very special. The fact that he's here is very special. There's so much to celebrate. But the flair, the exuberance, the leadership that Miguel brings to the Dodgers, honestly, very inspiring. Thanks for coming, Miguel. God bless you. That's Matt Smith. I'm Petros Papadakis. I don't think we've talked on the radio in many years.
Many years.
Yeah, maybe way back the first time around.
Yeah, in 2014 maybe,
right?
or something like that. I remember that.
So tell us.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's 2 world championships for Miguel, going for 3. Just did another deal, and how could he not after such a magical postseason? But just give us an idea. It's been such a magical time for everybody in the city. I can't imagine what it's been like for you, your family, and your teammates. What's this offseason been like? It seems like it's been very special.
Yeah, it's been overwhelming, to be honest with you guys, but I didn't want to walk away from it because I know what happened was really special. Having happened in 25 years, and for us to bring together a city as big as LA together for these last couple games, and not just for those games, but for the whole playoff. When we were down 3-2 against Toronto, going to Canada to play against a team in another country, and pull it off that way that we did, and then coming back here and seeing all the people in the streets, not just the World Series and all the fans that travel with us, but going downtown and do the parade and see all the people together. I feel like that's the most special thing on my heart. Not just winning back-to-back champions, but bringing everybody together after a devastating year, starting with all the fire and all the stuff. I feel like the city of LA deserves a team like this that wants to get better every single time, and I'm so proud of being part of this organization.
Baseball, look at that. Beautiful opening statement, Miguel. You always hear about when people retire, they say, oh, what do I miss? I miss the clubhouse. I miss, being around the guys. I assume every team's different. It's never the same 25 guys. Baseball's, 162 games in 185 days. So kind of take us through, because it feels like you need it. Like, what is it about this group these last 2 years that is special, that has led to this sort of success?
Yeah, kind of the same core. If we see the roster, a couple additions that are always going to be important and impactful, because we're never going to use just the same 26 guys for the whole year. I think Dave Roberts is being really good on making everybody part of the family as soon as we get to spring training. I know it's been 2 different things and so many people that contribute for us to win a championship in back-to-back years. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like the same chemistry with everybody who walks in this clubhouse. The mentality is winning, and the mentality is playing until the last game of baseball every single time. So I feel like that's the part that you excited about getting ready for another year. Is getting excited because you're gonna spend a lot of time with these guys. You're gonna go to battles, and it's gonna be up and downs, and that's the most gratifying thing. Like winning after knowing that a lot of people talk about you, talk about ruining baseball, talking about doing all this, spending all the money and all that. And I remember in the middle of July, we were in a position where the Padres took over the first place, and a lot of people were talking about a lot of people were
Not
talking
us,
about that
not us. We would never.
that we weren't good enough. And I think that's what kind of like fool you every single day, because it's like you say, it's a long season. You play a lot of games. You start in Japan the year before you start in Korea, and you spend a lot of times away from your family, and these people become your family, and that's what I'm gonna miss the most. Definitely when I step away from the game.
You mentioned every team's different. You have different players. Either the back of the bench, starters, rotation. All of that. One thing that was different for you was your number. You won a World Series in number 11, and you won a World Series in number 72. For people that don't know, you did that for Roki. Roki came over, he signed. You flip him 11. You go back to your rookie number.
What about his abuelo? What about the number 11?
So kind of take us through that decision and why it was special. I know you mentioned that was kind of special to win it in 72 as well.
Yeah, I mean, I make my debut over 10 years ago, and that was the first number that was gave to me when I came to spring training. I wasn't even supposed to be on the opening day roster for the Dodgers on that year, and they took me to this trip in Australia as a backup player, as a taxi squad guy. And then I make my debut that year, and they asked me what number I wanted to wear. I had a really good spring training, and I got the opportunity to experience my first major league game from the dugout in Australia with them. And I said, you know what, I'm going to wear 72. 72 was a number to me that it means a lot, because it was my first opportunity to play in the big leagues in this franchise that is one of the most iconic franchise in sports, not just in baseball. And then having the opportunity to welcome another guy that it was going to help us, and I knew he was going to be big for us, not just in the future, but in that year. And then Roki Sasaki became one of the most loved players on our team, because he stepped up big in the biggest situation as a closer, a position that he never pitched before. And I think, I'm not going to take all the credit, but I think that's the reason why we do things for other guys, because you want to make them feel good, make them feel part of the family. And that's another thing about this club. We're not selfish. We're trying to put the ego aside, and we're trying to make everybody feel comfortable, because when you feel comfortable, you're going to perform the way that you're supposed to. And that's what happened to Rocky, and I'm happy that he won a championship with number 11, and hopefully he can go to the World Series, to the Hall of Fame now with that number and remember me.
There you go.
They loved you in Japan for that, right? In Japan, they gave you quite an ovation just because you gave up the number.
Yeah, I mean, my relationship with the Japanese fans, my teammates, obviously Shohei, Yoshi, and Rocky, it's been really cool. Ever since we signed Shohei in 24, and then Yoshinobu came along, and last year with Rocky, it's been special. And all the fans in Japan, I want to say thank you to them too, because that's something that I would never imagine that I was gonna be that kind of big time in Japan, just because I play along with Shohei and I do like a little handshake. But now it's beyond that. It's my personality. It's what I like. I like the culture. I like the traditions, and I like the beer. And
hey, Sapporo right in front of us.
I love
Feel free
Sapporo.
to crack it if you want to drink it. I mean, it's that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, I love Sapporo. I love sushi, and I feel like it's a special connection there with the Japanese culture, especially because we have a lot of Japanese people here in LA, and they support us, and they come to the field, and they show me love on social media. And I went to Japan, and it was amazing. I was hitting batting practice. I was hitting homers in batting practice, and they were clapping for me. So that was something that I will never forget.
If it's not for Miguel Rojas, there's no way that the Los Angeles Dodgers are back-to-back World Series champions.
That's true.
We're talking about real history, but it's not always been a great ride for you. I mean, there's always ups and downs in anybody's career. You've been other places. Like you said, we talked to you 10 years ago. What keeps you, because it's hard to have a fire for a long time for anything, what keeps you competing and leading? Even on days that you're not playing, there's still leadership in the clubhouse. What keeps you doing that year in and year out? Keeps you engaged in that way?
I just feel like the mentality that I have, like I knew I wasn't gonna be like that superstar that is Shohei Ohtani or Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman. There's so many of them, like not everybody can beat that guy. But I mean, every clubhouse, every organization needs these guys that kind of put themselves aside and kind of help everybody else to feel better and to do their job a little bit easier. And I feel like that's something that I always live through in baseball and in life too. If I make you better, my job is going to be a little bit easier. So that's what I try to do ever since I came to the Dodgers. They were really honest with me. They told me, you're going to be a utility guy on this team. I need you to bring your presence, your leadership, and everything that you've been going through with the Marlins organization. I know I didn't win there, but I still like got a lot of experience from like leading a clubhouse, being the veteran in that clubhouse. And when I came here, I just like continued to be myself and trying to help everybody to get better. And I think that's why my mentality of always being ready for my opportunity, and instead of like asking for time or being mad because I wasn't playing every day. And like you say, my career is being through up and downs, but I never quit on my abilities. I always believe in myself, and I feel like I knew my opportunity was going to come. I didn't know that it was going to be in Game 7 of the World Series, and I was going to hit a home run that tied the game to give us an opportunity.
Yeah. Exactly right.
To be honest with you guys, I'm more proud of the way that I play in Game 6 because I put a display on my defense, which is something that
There we go.
that a lot of people know me for. They know me for my defense, and I feel like that's the reason why Dave Roberts put me in the lineup, not to hit a home run, but to play my defense, to inject that energy that I could bring, because I was making jokes with the hitting coaches that my body was really fresh because I haven't played in a long time. So I got all the energy from all the energy drinks that I was taking, and I put it all in that Game 6. So yeah,
it's not just the pitchers that drink the energy drinks. You guys too.
It's everybody.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we have some of the bullpen guys come over here, and the amount of energy drinks they drink is like dangerous. Peligroso.
It's crazy. So many energy drinks to play 162 games in 185.
Yeah.
Plus all the travel, not sleeping on the plane because you play cards the whole night. So yeah, and we're getting older. We're not a young team. We got a lot of mid-30s guys on this team. So that can be a positive but a negative at the same time.
Well, you brought it up, the defense. So let's shoot, we get to the big stuff straight out the gate here. So what was the tougher play? Was it Game 6 and digging that thing out for the game-ending double play, or was it throwing that ball home? And I mean, it's a fraction of an inch from losing the World Series and extending the game and ended up winning it in 11.
Yeah, you just answered the.
So which one was? They were both huge. Was there one that was a harder play to make?
Game 7, play at the play, because it's a do or die play. Like if you misplay the ball, if you bobble the ball, if you don't make a great throw, game's over. Game 6, I mean, I did my best to kind of keep the ball in front of me, but we still got an opportunity to win the game after, because we got 2 outs. Obviously, you want to finish the game there. You don't want to give them another opportunity to score runs. But it was a great play, don't get me wrong. But Game 7 is bases loaded, 1 out, and if you don't make the play, you lose the World Series. And all the work that you do throughout the year is kind of like empty because you didn't win.
So just like when you fielded that ball, you're obviously way up on the grass right there. Did it, because it looks like it was not an easy throw. You kind of have the ball here. Kind of take us through. Did it get on you quick? Did it take a weird bounce? Because that was not an easy exchange to get that thing fired off.
Yeah, no. For a lot of people who don't know, we play in a regular grass in LA in majority of the fields. In Toronto, got this artificial grass. So the ball bounced different on the artificial grass, and you could see in practice we were missing a lot of ground balls when we were taking like infield in. Like in the position that I was. And I felt like when the ball was hidden with this like weird top spin, and I have to go backwards on it. When I catch it, I kind of stumble a little bit. I lose my my foot there, and kind of like I don't know how I regroup and I planted my feet and I make a good throw. But that's what happened. The ball was hit. I took a bad route to the ball. I didn't go straight to the ball. I went back just because of the. I was thinking about the back hops that this ball take. But I'm glad that I gloved it and I plant my feet and I make a good throw. But it was amazing. It still give me anxiety every time I.
You just think about it.
Yeah, think about it because you can see my reaction. I put my hands on my knees and I was just like being grateful that we got that out.
And we will get into the home run maybe in the next segment. But before we get too far ahead of yourself, we were talking about your defense and what a special talent you have for that. Was that something you had as a young man when you were starting? Was that what everybody noticed about you first when it came to baseball? How did you develop those skills? Because there's a lot of creativity and, and like an art that goes in when you're that good of a fielder as you are.
Yeah, everything started back in Venezuela, watching Omar Vizquel play. I think that's the reason why I decided to be.
But you keep your shirt buttoned up higher than him. His is all the way.
Yeah, Omar was a wizard, man, on the field, and he won 11 Gold Glove and great shortstop, great player, so good with his instincts and the way that he played the game. I really like him because he was never like the best arm or the taller guy from that generation. He played alongside Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, Kyle Rickham Jr., but Omar continued to be kind of the best shortstop in that era. I know he didn't hit the same way that the other guys hit, but I felt like I wanted to be a player like Omar Vizquel, and that's the reason why I decided to train really hard on my defense. And I don't know, it's God given. Like the talent, it was just there. Like a lot of the scouts told me that that was the tool that it was going to take me to the big leagues. And it's definitely an opportunity here to talk about that because I think a lot of young players put their mind on, oh, I need to hit to continue to get an opportunity for college or for professional baseball and to go through the system. But remember, if you don't have a position and you hit a lot, but they can't really put you on the field, it's really hard because you're going to have just 30 DHs on the league. You have to be able to play defense. And I feel like that's something that I always going to tell young players to continue to work on their hitting and continue to do whatever they need to do. But make sure you get good at defense. And whatever the position you play, you got to continue to play hard and find your position because that's what's going to keep you in baseball. And I think that's what I did.
So I'm just kind of doing the math in my head here. I'm guessing that Omar probably made his debut maybe before you were born, or you had to be really, really small, I'm guessing. So
when was it? Like 80,
probably late 80s. Yeah, I would guess late 80s. Yeah.
I born in 89.
Okay.
So,
and that, you never went to like, I'm a teenager now, I want to be Miggy Cabrera. I want to hit 500. Like that never shifted. You kept that defensive focus even with, I think Alex Gonzalez, I want to say, was probably when you were a little kid as well.
Yeah,
like,
Marcos Cutero was another guy. So I always
you stayed on Vizquel though.
Yeah, I always shape my game on like kind of 3 or 4 different players: Omar Vizquel, Marcos Cutero, and Martin Prado. All guys that kind of play all over the infield. Vizquel was always a shortstop; he never moved. But Martin and Marcos Cutero kind of taught me something really special. Always play short and be a shortstop that can play other positions. And I feel like that's what opens me the door to play in the big leagues, kept me in the big leagues for a long time, and continue to get me job. Because it's not because I hit 20 homers. It's because my personality, my leadership, and all that you guys already talk about. But my defense is what kind of gave me a job year after year. And it's because I took a lot of pride of it, and I wanted to be the best at defense. So, I shaped my game out of those 3 guys.
Pretty easy guy to interview, huh? And Mookie Betts credits you for helping him learn the position of shortstop. How good of an estudiante is Mookie?
The best. I think not just because he's a good student. He's kind of he's in love with the game, but his work ethic is what takes him to the next level. I feel like whatever he wants to do, he can do because of he works on it really, really hard every single day. He found his groove this last year. You guys could see the difference between 23, the couple games that he played, shortstop, then 24 wasn't that pretty, but 25 was a Gold Glove caliber shortstop, and it was if it wasn't because another guy had an amazing season at short, I think Mookie got all the credit to get that Gold Glove at shortstop, and he's gonna continue to do whatever he wants. If he wants to move back to right field, he's gonna be a Gold Glover over there, and it's because of the work ethic. He comes to the field every single day to prepare to get better, and I feel like he credited a little bit to me, but I credit it back to him because the way that he plays every single day. I was just an asset for him to kind of like share my experience at the position that I think he couldn't get with any coach because one thing is the things that you do every single day to get better at fielding or throwing or moving your feet, but the experience of like knowing that this guy is pulling the ball or this guy is staying through the middle, that this play you should throw to third instead of first. So those are the things that I'm there for Mookie every single day, and I'm willing to continue to do that this year and hopefully next year when I'm starting to be a coach.
Pretty hard not to be excited about the next 40 minutes with Miguel Rojas after that start. We are inside the locker room. We'll step aside here for a minute. We're going until 5 o'clock. 2 more segments with Miguel. A big thank you to our friends at Verizon Wireless.
It's going to be a dance party in here during the break.
Putting this thing on, a packed house inside the locker room as you would expect as we make our way forward on your home of the back-to-back World Series champion Dodgers, AM 570 LA Sports. You were not able to make it in. We have got a heck of a crowd all enjoying Miguel's company.
Oh, he took pictures with everybody during the break.
Talk about a banner afternoon here on your home of the Dodgers, P.
We're live inside the locker room, brought to you by Sapporo. As we have, is this cold?
It's cold. I mean, should we crack them?
You know Miguel has a Sapporo tattoo. I didn't know that.
You want to crack them, Miguel? There we go.
Yeah, good.
Of course.
Let's crack them.
Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Yamas.
My favorite beer right here.
That's right. And brought to you by Verizon and our friends. We're talking to a real hero of the Ciudad and beyond, Miguel Rojas. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about that home run because it was very special. It happened here on the radio. No one will ever forget it. It'll be like Kirk Gibson and Freddie Freeman and his teeth. It'll go down in the history of Los Doyers in town. So let's hear it on the radio live when it was recorded on AM 570 LA Sports.
Can Rojas fight his way on base? Full count, Hoffman delivers. Rojas hits it in the air, left field. This ball's got some carry. It is gone! It's gone! And Game 7 is tied! Miguel Rojas off the bench in Game 6, on the board in Game 7.
Now, we all know where we were, and we know where he was. He was in Canada. Now, whenever something like that, we talked about the defense in Game 6, but whenever something like that happens, and you've been a pro for so long, were you thinking about it? Do you think about those moments in bed where, what happens if I do this or what happens if I do? Could you ever imagine something like that happening?
Yeah, I mean, I dream of it, but I never knew that I was going to get the opportunity to do that, especially in Game 7. Obviously, I'm not a home run hitter. And not many people will remember me as a big home run hitter. But now that I hit that homer, everybody will think about it, right? I'm a home run hitter.
You're a home run hitter, all right.
Yeah, that's something that he talks a lot about preparation and being ready for the moment. And I continue to quote Doc because when we get to spring training a couple years ago, he said something that it was really impactful, not just for me but for the whole clubhouse. I feel like a lot of people wanted to be in that opportunity and ask for the chance to have that big moment, 3-2, 2 outs, I want to be on the mound until you really got the chance, like
right.
Are you really gonna have your mentality and you're gonna have to keep your composure and do everything that you need to do in practice to be ready for that moment? And I think that's what I was thinking when I was on the bench, because if you have a spot on the roster, you're always going to have the opportunity to get something like that. And that moment was, for me, the biggest moment of my career, and always going to live between me, my family, and the city of Los Angeles, because that was really special. And for me to hit that ball and kind of gave us an opportunity to win.
Everywhere but Canada, they loved it.
Yes.
I mean, I would say
exactly.
from Venezuela, all of North America, except for the top.
You always hear, like, a lot of times with players, they'll say, oh, well, when you hit the home run, what were you looking? And they usually say, I wasn't looking to hit a home run. I've got to believe 3-2, Shohei Ohtani's on deck. You really probably weren't thinking of hitting a home run, were you? Or was that pitch so grooved that it changed? It's hard for us to fathom, like, a spherical object coming at 95 miles an hour, and you can make those sort of split-second decisions. So kind of what went into that swing?
Yeah, the thing is, like, he kept me, like, thinking and guessing what he's going to throw, because I guessed wrong from the beginning. I guessed that he was going to throw me a fastball away because I just got a good base hit in my second at bat against Scherzer with a slider, with a hanging slider. I hit it to left, and I felt like, okay, I got a hit against the slider. He's probably going to attack me a little bit different. He don't want to walk me. He wants me to put the ball in play. So I thought he was going to throw me a fastball away. He threw me a slider in the dirt, and I swing through it. And I think that pitch kind of make me lock it in a little bit more and make me let the ball travel. We talk about that when a guy throws 94, 95 is a little bit easier, but this guy was throwing 96, 97, almost 98 miles per hour, and it's really hard to let the ball travel and be on time for the fastball. So I felt like what kind of gave me the confidence to do that was the third and fourth pitch. They were fastballs away, and I was able to foul the back to right field, and I was letting the ball travel. And I said, okay, I got time. I can let the ball travel. I'm hitting his best fastball, so let's see what he's going to throw now. So he threw me a bad slider that it was kind of like open in, and then he home one, and I was able to put a good swing on it. But like you say, I wasn't thinking to hit a home run. I mean, everybody knows that I'm not a power hitter. I was just trying to get on base for Shohei to get the opportunity to tie the game with a big swing of our big guy, But I was able to do it.
Did you know it was going out?
I hit it. I knew I hit it good. I was running hard because I thought because of the big fence in left field. But then when I saw the bullpen guys looking up like this, okay, I tied the game.
What did Shohei say to you when you came? Yeah, exactly. Big applause. So you tie the game. Shohei's coming. We always see like a high five. You guys had a little bit of an exchange there. What did he say to you when you came back to the dugout?
Yeah, Shohei flew out in the first pitch to left field. And one thing that happens before that is I'm seeing Blake Snell on the bench. He's pitching, right, and he have to pitch the bottom of that inning to give us the opportunity to win the game after. And he's just like quiet, like focused on going back to pitch. He was just clapping. Well, when everybody else is screaming like we won the World Series already, that kind of like made me realize that we still got work to do. Like we haven't won the game. We just like did something really special because we're down to our last 2 outs. But Shohei, when he flew out, he came back to the dugout. I'm just walking back to put my helmet on the rack. And he just told me that, hey, Miggy, you can't retire now. You have to play for 10 more years.
10 more years.
So I say,
so there you go. You're stuck for 10 more years.
So hey, I play 1 more year with you, and then after that, I'll be coaching or doing something else. But that was special because, when you put everything on context and how great Shohei's been through his career, not just on the field, but off the field. And the way that he carried himself, the way that he was like working so hard on getting that speech the other day, and it was flawless for the MVP. And I think that's the greatest player of our generation, if not the best player that ever played the game. For him to come to me and say something like that, it means a lot, and it's something that I will take forever.
The one and only Miguel Rojas, our guest on the Petros Money Show, brought to you by Verizon Wireless. His favorite beer, Sapporo, and his Japanese teammates who love it as well. But it really is a global team. You've been on other baseball teams, other franchises in the minors. I mean, you fought your way all the way through. What is the feeling inside the Dodger clubhouse among those guys? Because you look around and this one guy sitting here is the best player maybe ever to play. Clayton Kershaw, generational Hall of Fame pitcher. What's it like, on a day-to-day basis being around all those guys and leading those guys? Yeah,
it sucks because they become human beings, to you. And, they're not superstars or superheroes anymore to you. But that's what is really cool, like that you get to for your family, your son, and the people around you to get to be with these people. And when you get in the clubhouse, it's like a good connection that not everybody else can see. And it's really, really cool to see the other aspects of just the player and see what kind of people they are and where they're coming from and the different culture and the way that they like things. It's pretty special because in this clubhouse we have so many different players from different cultures coming in with the same goal.
And Muncie.
And Muncie. Yes, that's right. It's a different creature too, even when he's American. But that's the most special. The most special thing about this team is that everybody who walks in this clubhouse, doesn't matter who it is, the mentality change, and it's all about the Dodgers and about the winning that we have, the winning culture that we created. I mean, these guys they created before me and before us right now because they've been winning on a regular basis for a long time in the regular season. Now we put it all together, and now we're going not just to the playoff, but we're reaching another level, which is like if we don't win the last game of the year, it's a failure every single time, and everybody knows it. From the front office to the ownership to the manager, coaching staff, and us. We feel it every single day, and they continue to not make us be acceptable than anything else. And the reason why is because the general manager went out and got the best reliever of the free agency, and he got the best player on free agency this year, and that creates the competition that still needs to be alive. Older players needs to continue to do their job. And younger players, they can't really come in and say, okay, I'm just going to have my spot right here, and I'm going to be okay playing at whatever level. No, it's not going to be kind of like a flexibility of like, okay, I can be okay for a little bit. No, everybody needs to kind of continue to push themselves to be the best because we have the best talent in the room.
Well, it goes by quick. We got one more to go as we'll step aside here, come back for our final segment inside the locker room, enjoying our Sapporos, enjoying our company, and certainly enjoying the centerpiece of it all, Miguel Rojas.
Afternoon. And where and when did you learn such I mean, you're a great communicator.
I mean, I've been in this country for over 20 years now.
There we go.
So I better understand.
It wasn't always like this?
No.
Fernando never spoke. I mean, he never talked to us.
Well, because he might never think about being a coach afterwards, Like when you just have to play baseball, you don't need to speak English, right? But I feel when you want to be a good leader, when you want to be a coach after, I feel like you have to put the effort of like learning.
It's
and my son and my daughter are American, so they're
like, hi, Dad. Hi, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
I do want to go to I want to make sure we get this in because I think obviously everybody knows about the home run. Everyone knows about the double play, about the force out at home. But because, you were gone so quickly after you arrived, I want to go back to June 18th, 2014. Because Clayton Kershaw's only had one no-hitter in his career. And for people that may not be aware, let's go to I think it was the seventh inning, right? One out. You're playing third base, and you basically saved the no-hitter. Kind of take us through being a rookie, wearing number 72. Kershaw is through 6 1/3, and this freaking shot pushes you all the way back. If you can visualize the diamond, the farthest right corner of dirt, you've got 1 foot in the grass, and you managed to pepper a throw over to first and preserve the no-hitter for Clayton.
Yeah, that was really special. Top 3 in my career for sure. At that time, I was just trying to stay in the big leagues and help any way I can. And I go back to what I was talking about a couple moments ago when I say, when you walk in that clubhouse and you see a guy like Clayton Kershaw, prime Clayton Kershaw, he's the MVP of that year, Cy Young winner, face of the franchise, face of baseball at the time, and you see him like dominating every single star. Like the least you can do is play your ass off every single time you're out there. So I feel like that moment was really special for me, and obviously all the fans when I came back, that's the first thing that they remember. I remember Miguel Rojas from saving Kershaw no-hitter, and I didn't save anything. I feel like I just was doing my job because if that ball goes through me, they probably find someone else that can catch it, and that's what I was thinking about. And at the end of the game, it was like really special that he came to me and say, thank you, Miggy, and we started to create a really good relationship, and he's gonna be one of my favorites forever. But that moment and that time in my career kind of make me realize that I was doing something good at my young age, and I'm glad that I did it with the Dodgers as well.
Part of the great appeal of Miguel Rojas isn't just the hard work, the story, the leadership, the things we talk about. It's a style. A style. And a lot of people don't know because we don't know the Van Cleef and Arpels. You know, most guys, you know, they don't know about the necklace and the earrings. They see it, but they don't know. Could you tell the people? Because it's really beautiful. You got a lot.
Yeah.
Did you always have that style?
I have it. No, I feel like shoes and kind of like.
Is that the same one we always see, the earrings and necklace, or do you have a few?
Well, I paired the same color necklace, the Dodger blue. I paired it with the earrings now, so I brought it for this year, for Fan Fest and for the community tour that we're gonna do. But definitely, style always been part of my game, kind of. You know, I love shoes. I love the Jordan brand. I love Nike brand, and I try to kind of like reflect my personality through my shoes when I play baseball, right? Because you can't really wear too many things or too many colors, especially when I was coming into the league. It was a rule that you have to wear certain colors, you know, and that changed over time. And now that you can actually express yourself a little bit more through the colors and the shoes and all that, I always been kind of like that. But
nobody else wears the Van Cleef, though.
Van Cleef.
That's the number one.
Right,
you only see that at like the Cannes Film Festival and stuff.
It's pretty fancy.
That is super style for the Dodgers.
Yeah,
that's a great style.
I came last year with the Van Cleef necklace because I feel like that's something that just the women's wear. I got a couple for my wife, and I said, you know what, I think this will look good because
Mr. Van Cleef's gonna call you for a collaboration.
Right?
I hope so. They should.
They should.
You know,
right?
My
God, nobody's pushed Van Cleef more than you.
I'm playing on the biggest stage with the biggest team in the world. So. But no, it was really cool to see a lot of people like kind of connecting with me and the stuff that I was wearing. And actually, a lot of people from Van Cleef reach out to me and say, "Hey, you don't even know how many people came during Christmas trying to find the same necklace that he was wearing." So
I bought 2 bracelets. I got thrown out of my house.
How about putting the guy on an endorsement deal? I mean, my goodness. Well, we're right up against it. We got about 30 seconds, 45 seconds here. So I do want to ask, you wanted to play for the country. David Vassegh shared with us that you committed to the Dodgers the last time this thing happened. Yeah. And unfortunately now it's not going to be able to put together. But just it's hard for, I think, people in America to kind of wrap their head around the World Baseball Classic, but how important it is to so many players in this league.
Yeah, WBC and putting the flag on your chest and like over your career is really important, and I feel like that's why so many players that accomplish so much during their careers, they always talk about like how the experience was in the WBC because it's different baseball. It's a Game 7 every single game that you play. It doesn't matter who you go against. And I mean, in 23, I had the opportunity to go. I was on the roster and everything was clear with my insurance. But then Gavin Lux went down and the Dodgers asked me to stay to prepare to play shortstop for a full season. And I decided to do that. I couldn't go to the WBC. And then this year, just because of my age, I'm turning 37 by the start of February. And the insurance company say, I'm sorry, we can't really insure your contract with the Dodgers, and it's really hard for me to kind of like go out there and take away from what we can do for a long season. So it's kind of sad, and I feel like I want the best for the country, want the best for the team, and that's why I wanted to go, because I feel like I can help them to accomplish what they want. But at the end of the day, it will be another opportunity, hopefully, as a coach.
Always the best intentions. What a guy. Miguel Rojas. What a special treat. A big thank you to Sapporo. Caitlin from Sapporo is here. Our friends at Verizon Wireless, bringing you this great opportunity to talk to a great player, a great leader, a great countryman, and a great Dodger. Miguel Rojas, everybody.